This has been a long time coming. A lot of you have been asking, Miller, where's the EK at? When are you going to start it? We're going to start it today. My boy Dakota and I, we're standing here talking about what we think we're going to do to this thing. There's a lot we could do. We have a bunch of ideas. We might do one thing and then do another thing. So make sure to stick around because this is only episode 1. We're going to be throwing some Maxspeedingrods coilovers on my 98 Honda Civic. Should be pretty easy. Dakota says it only will take 1 to 2 hours for all 4 of them. 2 bolts here, 2 bolts there, 3 bolts here, 3 bolts there. Should be fairly easy. And we have a lift. Let's get started.
These are actually really nice.
They actually look really good.
No, their original designs were garbage. This is completely different. This has adjustable dampening on it. This is a 32-way adjustable coilover. So these will actually perform pretty well. So these coilovers actually have a nylon sleeve on each side of the coil, which will help reduce any road noise going down the road. These are actually really nicely built. They got some nice rubber bushings on the top. The top pad, adjustable dampening, easily accessible through the top of the strut tower. They come with these nice brackets that'll hold the brake lines up, that'll prevent it from rubbing into the wheel. It also comes with these reducer couplers. So on some of the Civics, they have a smaller fork size. So this will let you use it on multiple different cars. Also comes with brand new washers. Might be needing those.
Big shout out to Maxspeedingrods for sponsoring today's video. These things look sick in person. Wonder what they'll look like on the car. Let's get it in the air and find out. That's a big test. All right.
Oh, it is.
I just noticed that. Guys, these wheel covers are like impossible to find, and if you find them, they're extremely expensive. And I thought they were all good, but this one looks like it's cracked.
Just a little bit.
Now remember, I bought this at auction for 800 bucks. It's got 239,000 miles on it. There is a little bit of hail damage on the roof and the hood, and a little bit of rust back here in the quarters, but other than that, in fact, this quarter is a little bit right there, just a little bit. In fact, this quarter has actually been painted before. But this side is a little worse for wear, and that's okay. That's a pretty easy fix too. But this is the first time we're even taking the wheels off this car. So a lot of bolts, a lot of the lug nuts will probably be pretty tough to get off. Dakota is actually spraying them down to help loosen them up. So I was off yesterday and I asked Dakota to bring this down here, and he said the right rear drum was locked up. So don't know if that's the e-brake, if it's just the regular brake, but this car, since I bought it, this car has been sitting for 8-9 months, and we're finally doing something with it, which I'm very excited for. So what's next, man? What are we doing next? Taking out some bolts? Or
knocking some bolts loose, yep.
All right, let's do it. So let me give you a little bit of a background on Dakota. He's a Honda guy. He knows primarily everything about Hondas, and that's why I'm grateful that he works for me and that he's willing to help me out on this. Now, he has a 99 Civic 2-door coupe, right?
Yep.
2-door coupe, and he just built that thing up. I'll show you a picture right here on the screen. This thing is sick. He told me I could drive it too, but he's got to tune it and do some other things before he'll let me do that. Because I'll be honest, I don't want to blow it up. Dakota's the man. He knows everything about this car, and he's primarily going to be helping me out this whole build. So it's just me and him today, so you'll probably just see him doing most of the work, so I can film, and he knows exactly where all the bolts and nuts are and all that stuff, because he's taken so many of these apart. So big shout out to my boy for helping me out. Give him a shout out in the comments below.
I'll go for this lower fork. this guy. That guy. Yeah, we can tap the fork off now, pop this fork off the top of the shock, and this fork will actually go on the new coilover. We'll tap this fork off this guy. Just like that, nice and easy. Might have to push this guy down a little bit just to get it out of the way. But now we can get the top nuts off, and that coilover should pop right out of there. Nut one. And you want to make sure when you pop the second nut off that you have your hand on the coilover, or else it will fall. Jason, you want to grab that? Perfect. Now we'll come down here. This guy is out. Just like that. What do you think?
That had to be the easiest thing.
So these coilovers come with this nice little ring, which is the same diameter as the stock strut. So what we're gonna have to do is use this, put it on our new Maxspeedingrods coilovers, and use this in replacement. Nuts on the top to hold it up here. And we can get that one. Can't get that. Right up on that so. Yeah, we'll tighten the top up, and then we'll get that lower shock fork. All right, so for the new nuts on the Maxspeedingrod coilovers, we're going with a 15 millimeter instead of a 14 on the stock ones. Now we'll put this lower shock fork in. This guy will have to go up a considerable way in order to fit this guy in there. We'll give it a little love tap here. Just like that. And that is one Maxspeedingrod coilover installed on the right front. We are double checking these top ones. Want to make sure we didn't strip them out with the impact. Perfect.
So it looks like we found the first of many problems that we're going to have on this car. Can you see all that power steering fluid just pouring out of there? Wow. So Dakota seems to think he's had this problem before, and we're going to need a steering rack. So I need 2 steering racks for 2 of my Civics. Luckily, that one is not one of them. Dakota is literally doing the same exact thing he did on the right front to the left front. Oh, and I made a rookie mistake, and my glasses died, and I forgot the charging case. So that will be the last of the glasses that you will see in this video. All right, so look at the difference from the rear to the front. So we have the coilovers on the front and stock on the rear. That is a big difference. So Dakota's going to take a tape measure and we're going to check it to the hub.
About 13 and a half.
13 and a half.
To the center of the hub.
16 and a half. That is 3 inches. Now, mind you, we didn't adjust the coilover before we put it on. We will do that at the end. And the one other thing we didn't show you guys is the wrench to lower it and raise it. Actually, there's 2 of them and an Allen wrench in there. And they sent a couple stickers, which those are actually pretty cool. I like that. And some instructions, which where we're going, we don't use instructions. All right, let's get to the rear. We got to pop the hatch and take some interior panels off. So I'm thinking all we got to do is take these 2 screws out, and we should be able to get to the strut, but we might have to take that whole panel off. We'll find out here once Dakota gets this cover off. But I think we might be good just taking this off. Let's find out.
Ooh, there's another.
Oh, there's another one? Okay, so there's 3 of them.
Is this going to be right underneath the speaker?
Maybe we take the speaker out and we don't have to take that whole panel off. I mean, either way, that whole panel is fairly easy to remove. In fact, if we have to remove it, we're not even going to put it back on because we just remove it again later. So I'll just leave it off. And the moment of truth. Is there a bunch of stuff down there?
Insulation.
Oh, I thought it was like plastic bags. And
Yep, so actually we are going to be able to get to those through the speaker holes.
Can you see it right there? Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get down in there with Dakota to show you. I guess maybe we should have took the panel off, but
Saving a little bit of time. There it is.
Again, you want to make sure you're using the right tools. So, Dakota, real quick, tell them what they need.
Well, in order to get down there to it and make sure you're on straight so you don't strip it out, I'm using this wobble extension, which allows the socket to move a little bit, which makes it so that it stays on there straight when I'm trying to pull it off. Not the easiest tool to use, but if you're using it right, they come right out.
I wish I had that tool when I was doing the inlet pipe on that car. That would have helped me so much. And the birds are singing today. And it's raining. I mean, it's not raining that bad right now, but they're singing. Can you hear them? I don't know if the mic will pick it up or not.
Right here on the wrong side of the fork.
Maybe.
I can see a little bit. Oh, you know what it is? It's stuck in the bushing of the lower control arm. This the metal sleeve that's in there. It actually seized up, the bolt seized up. It's spinning out of the nut on the other side of it. It's seized up in that metal joint.
Now, when you're dealing with older cars, you're gonna run into this kind of thing. So we're just gonna take our time, try not to break it. He just sprays some more lubricant on there to try to blast it out. If we have to, we have a torch. We'll break the torch out, heat it up.
Yeah, it's still stuck on that bushing, but it's spreading the lower shock apart over here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You see it?
I don't know if you can see that, guys. I can't really see it. It's a little dark under there, but So you always know that hour, 2 hour job on an older car is always going to take a lot longer than you planned. So always make sure to have some extra time.
You see that bushing's coming out with it?
Yeah.
That guy is blowing.
With a little bit more hammering, a little bit more gunning, and a little bit of me jumping up and down on the rear tire, we finally got this thing out. So that bolt we were trying to get out, yeah, it snapped. That's okay. Again, we're replacing most of this anyway, but just going to take us longer to try to figure it out. I definitely don't have another one of these, but we do have something similar just to hold it in there until we get something new. So the bottom of the strut blew out. Actually, looks like it bent the bottom there too. I don't know if it's like that or not, but
No, yeah, it pushed it out when we went to take that bolt out. This middle collar was seized, so it just pushed this the whole way out as far as it could get it. And as you can tell, that is your bottom bushing.
right here. Look at that. Looks like we need a new bushing.
Yep. Stump 2 lower control arms look real good right now.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna have to reuse the bushing. As you saw, we did break the bolt. This guy right here. The coilovers don't come with a nut welded to the end like the stock ones do. So we were able to find a bunch of washers, another long bolt, and a nut that we're gonna use for the time being. And we just threw the same bushing back in there. And we're just gonna rock this for now. Now it can't go out on the road, so I'm definitely not worried about it, but it is enough to move it back to where we moved it from. And that's all that really matters, because I can't leave it back here in the shop. So Dakota did have to take the control arm off to get it out. And that's what he was doing right there. He was just bolting the control arm back in, and then we'll finish getting that. And then we'll finish getting that coilover installed. So Dakota's using the jack to raise the control arm so we can get that nut and bolt in there a lot easier.
Had a long way to go with these new ones on there.
Yeah, 3 inches.
Some of us, that's a lot.
That's what she said.
So this is thinner, and it smushes against that bushing that's in there, and the new one doesn't. If there's too much space, so they give you these spacers to put on either side of stuff. So I gotta take this back out.
All right, the right rear is done. That stock shock is trash. That bushing is trash, but it looks a lot better now, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Dakota, do me a favor. The front was 13.5, right?
Yep.
This was 16.5. Where are we at now?
Very big difference there. 12.5 now.
So now we're sitting at 12.5. It was 16.5. That's 4 inches.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. All right, now we're gonna go to the driver's side and hope and pray that we don't run into the same problem that we had on the passenger side.
All right, fingers crossed.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
Nice.
So I think on this one, we are going to take this lower control arm loose just to make it easier on ourselves.
So So this side, the control arm doesn't want to come out. Am I jumping up and down on that one?
We might. This one.
That's pretty far. That has to go a long way.
Yeah. Stock springs. They're high. All right, we'll get the top off and then we'll go from there.
All right, here's the stock rear suspension. And if you look here, this came from the right. Look at the difference. Look at that thing. Snapped it right in half. And the shock is blown out. The left side is good. So, I mean, that's cool, I guess.
Came out
really
a lot easier.
Right. But like I was telling you earlier, the coilovers don't come with this welded nut on there. But what Dakota found is the stock nut from the top of the strut we can reuse for the bolt, because they send you new ones for the top. So that's cool. So this one should go in much easier and much quicker than the passenger side. Let's get it done. We'll show you what it looks like when it's over. All right, so this is what it looks like, and we haven't even put it on the ground yet. That is tucking 100%. Maybe not so much. There's a pretty decent gap there, but
Let's check it out.
let's see it, brother. And this isn't even as low as it goes yet. We just left them the way they came. Ooh. I don't mind that gap. I don't mind that. I don't mind that, actually. Oh, yeah, 100%. That's pretty much what I thought. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Looks good. I like it. Looks good. Big shout out to Maxspeedingrods for sponsoring today's video. I'll leave a link to them down in the description. Make sure to go check them out. And if they want to sponsor me for other things for this car, because Dakota and I were talking, I think we might build this motor up first before we swap anything, because it's really not that expensive. So I think that's the route we might go first. Put a turbo on it, intercooler it, maybe 250, yeah. 260, 270 horsepower. I don't necessarily want to blow the thing, at least not yet. At least until the swap's ready, but we might go that route. All right, so now we're going to show you how to adjust this, and we're going to go as low as possible. Looking at the coilover, under the springs, there are 3 separate rings. The upper one is the spring seat, the middle one is the spring lock, and the lower one is the mounting lock. Now you got to use the provided wrenches to loosen to lower the mounting lock ring. Turn the cylinder in a counterclockwise direction to lift the vehicle. Turn the opposite direction to lower the vehicle. After the adjustment, tighten the rings with a hammer and a metal punch. This is how you adjust the heights after you install the coilovers onto the car. Don't try to adjust the ride height by the spring seat. Lowering the car by the spring seat may result in internal damage and affecting the driving performance. Now the dampener comes hard, 24 clicks. 0 to 16 clicks is more or less everyday driving. 16 to 24 is more or less track or highway use. So if you install these, make sure to just take it on a ride yourself and adjust from there, because everybody's different. All right, let's put it on the ground. Every corner is as low as it can go. Hit it. So I didn't film it, but we did measure from the hub after he was done on the right front, and it was 12 inches. Yeah. So it went from 13 and a half to 12. Yeah. I love it. I think it looks great.
A lot lower than stock, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. So now every single Civic that I have is now lowered, but this is the only one on coils. We're going to leave it here. We're not going to raise it. We're going to leave it right where it is. We are going to pull it out though, take it outside, and so I can take a thumbnail picture and take some more video for you guys, so you guys can see it outside, see it in a better light. So we have to leave the jump box on it because it won't stay running without it. So that means the alternator's shot. It really only moves in reverse and first gear, so we're going to take it back up to the building up there and get a couple shots. So the exhaust is actually broken right in the center, which I don't really care about that. I like it. I like it a lot. Go! Rev it! I don't know about you, but I think this thing looks great. Even on those 14s, it looks much better than it did stock. Again, big shout out to Maxspeedingrods for sponsoring today's video. And if you guys want to sponsor some more, I could really use the whole suspension kit for this car, maybe some internal engine stuff, and yeah, but how about a turbo kit, maybe? Now, this is only episode 1 of this series. This is going to be a long series. Could be 100 episodes, I have no idea. But if you guys enjoyed this video, you know what to do. If you want to come along for the ride with this series, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.